Earth Center will never know the real difficulties involved in colonial administration.
It's lucky the economy can't afford the colonial monitoring scheme anymore, Mr. Posedor. At least they're not breathing down our necks.
Tea. This tea is more than a man can bear. Ina, take this down. I want it transcribed and beamed out on all wavelengths.
Yes, Administrator.
To all registered tellurian space traffic... No, scrub that. To all space traffic. Space traffic, trading posts, colonies, and everyone and anyone. Got that?
Yes. Administrator, are you
sure I am the weary administrator of the tellurian colony of Nematoda. It is a dreary world whose evolution has cruelly pushed its peaceful inhabitants, the Nematodans, into an underground existence, constantly besieged by their fellow, entirely monstrous indigenous species, the nematoids. My predecessor, his name escapes me at the moment, arrived here some 50 years ago. He and his fellows discovered the peaceful, elfin nematodans cringing below ground, depending on a crumbling network of air holes leading to the surface for their air supply. I might explain that living on the surface are the nematoids, gigantic worms who are constantly attempting to burrow underground to eat the poor nematodans. How does that sound?
Not bad. Mr. Posedor, why are you...
my predecessor launched into action to the rescue of the nematodans. The air holes were to be rebuilt, the economy created, the downtrodden saved. As I say, that was some 50 years ago. My predecessor is no longer with us. He died, exhausted, prematurely senile, in the very same chair I recline in now. His task, his plan of nematodan redevelopment, sanctioned by Earth Center, no further advanced than it had been on that day he first set foot on Nematoda. Why? Why? And why was I given his job? My predecessor was an adventurer, an explorer and a pioneer. And me, I'm just a pen pusher. No ambition, no aggressive enthusiasm. Just the sort of nobody they'd give a no-hope job to. How can I succeed when a tower of pioneering strength failed? Now I come to the purpose of this broadcast. I have a passion. A simple pleasure, really. It isn't at all strenuous, mentally taxing, competitive, no. It's very modest, but I happen to think it might save me from premature senility. It soothes my nerves. Tea. I'm a tea drinker. I like tea. So I wonder to myself, is it irrational of me to think there's some kind of conspiracy? A plot to drive me out of my mind? Not by denying me my pleasure altogether. Oh no, that would be too obvious. But by antagonizing me beyond the limits of my reason? Is it irrational of me just to ask for some decent, earth-cultivated, drinkable tea? Because the stuff they're sending me here is disgusting! It isn't fit for nematoids to drink! So, please, all you out there who can hear me, please, 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 for pity's sake, please, bring me some decent tea. No!
All right, Mr. Posedor. It'll be all right.
Broadcast that message.
Yes, of
Promise
course.
me.
All right, I promise.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Ina, but you know how.
Don't worry, I'll do it. I'll send the message.
More Nematoid trouble. How do they get through our new shielded air hole openings, Ina?
I don't know, Mr. Posedor. Shouldn't we get a status report?
We build them up. They knock them down. How do they do it? That's all I want to know. Nothing makes any sense anymore.
Oh, Administrator, please. You've got to snap out
I'm
of
beginning
this.
to think I snapped long ago.
Our security cams detect nematoid penetration.
Oh, all right. Track rate of progress.
3 meters per second.
You better try out those puncture rod things.
Activating now. It's a winner! We got it from all sides! Stuck like a pig!
Oh dear, it does seem awfully cruel.
I thought Supervisor Stone said the puncture rods would kill the nematoid instantly. It's in terrible
Yes,
pain.
most unnecessary. Turn off audio.
Audio off.
You better have Supervisor Stone send a disintegrator squad up that air hole.
Right away, Administrator Posedor.
What on earth's happening now?
Audio sensors on. I don't believe it. It's moving again. It snapped the puncture rods and it's moving.
It's still alive. Those puncture rods are about as much use as the seismic probe.
How fast is it moving now?
Faster than ever. It's almost sliding down.
Where's it heading?
Geobird vector 282961.
That's the air hole development scheme central junction.
It's there already.
Which passage is it taking?
Right, 240. Oh no!
That leads to the central concourse area.
The hub of the colony. Oh dear.
This is it. Got the sandwiches?
Yes. Have you got the tea?
Yes. What do you think this rucksack's for?
You mean it's full of tea?
Yes, I've got plenty to spare.
You've certainly taken this Posedor chap's plea to heart, haven't you?
Tea drinkers of the cosmos should help one another whenever they can.
Very charitable.
Come on.
What's the hurry?
Well, this is definitely Nematoda, but the time tracking was a bit dodgy and, well, we don't want to be late, do we?
Look at that. Up there.
Oh, yes. Must be one of the famous air holes.
An enormous man-made ventilation shaft.
Yes, in a state of ill repair. We must be some way from the colony. Come on.
What makes you so sure we're going the right way?
My infallible sense of direction.
Oh, yes?
The only trouble is...
What?
That sometimes doesn't work.
You're an idiot. What was that? Subterranean indigestion?
Hardly. But at least we're heading in the right direction. It came from up ahead.
Get that disintegrator rigged, you dumb pixies. That thing's got us all on the menu.
Supervisor Stone, all 9 air holder work parties have scarpered, sir. I can't find them anywhere. It's crossed admin block 5, sir. It's heading for the main settlement.
What? Hell's teeth! Oh, fucking Foreman Trash, will you talk to these pixies? They've fouled up the disintegrator again.
What can I do about it?
Well, they seem to listen to you.
Maybe that's because I'm not always insulting them.
Just get that disintegrator working.
No, not like that. I've told you before. Here, let me try.
Crouch! Get that thing working!
Got it. Ready, sir.
Well, what are you waiting for? Try that thing!
We're close now, Rhea. Come on.
It stopped.
Well, look at that. She's a real beauty.
Looks as though your puncture rods turned out to be as ineffective as your seismic probe was.
These worms are just suicidal morons. Hey, what the hell's going on here?
I don't know, sir. I've seen it happen before. They just climb up onto the carcass.
Hey, get down out there. We got work to do. The air hose schedule's been put back 6 months. You pixies all want to suffocate. Hell, they're dumb. Yeah, that's more like it.
Nem died.
What?
He says it's dead.
Hell, I know that.
What happened this time, Stone?
Same as usual, Posedor. Shielding foundations collapse, shield falls in, workforce skedaddles, in comes Dumbo over there, sets us back 6 months. Any news from Earth Center?
No.
The sooner they approve my plan for a nematoid extermination program, the sooner we'll get this planet working again.
It was working when humans first arrived.
Hell, Posedor, you know as well as I do, we're trying to help these people. They were set to be buried, eaten, or suffocated alive before we got here. Organization's what they need, and they'll thank us for it one day.
It's no use denying it. We're lost.
I wasn't denying it. I just wasn't saying anything. Oh, dear.
Doctor, I think there's something above us.
What? Yes, it's another air hole. With soil falling out of it. I think you're right. Nematoda?
The worms.
No, the peaceful ones, I think.
Hundreds of them.
Hell, we did every damn test imaginable.
I know, Stone.
There's not one nematoid on this planet heavy enough
I've got
to
your
break
tea,
that shielding.
Administrator.
Not now, Eno. Mr. Stone is talking at me.
Puncture rods, but none of it does any good. Either those damn worms are a lot smarter than they're letting on, or somebody's letting them in.
Oh, really, Stone? You go too far sometimes. Why don't you just sit down and have some tea? Yuck. Still, I suppose it'll have to do. And we'll hear no more of this nematoid extermination business either. Eno, did you broadcast my message?
What do you mean no more of this extermination business? Are you trying to tell me you never sent my recommendation to Earth Center?
Oh, it wouldn't have done any good anyway. And the red tape is so thick back on Earth. Well, you need a planet disintegrated to get through it. Wouldn't you, Administrator?
Thank you, Eno. Thank you so much.
Supervisor Stone.
Hell,
your tea?
Posedor, that's too much! Next time the communication beacon of the line, I'm gonna transmit my recommendation in person.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Oh, where are they taking us?
By the way they're carrying us, I can't work out whether we're honoured visitors or... a linguistic corruption of some sort. Thieves.
They're going to eat us.
No, look. It's dead now. We have to work. Get your air holers to work. There could be a cave-in at any moment. A cave-in! Are you listening to me?
Stone make us kill them.
Crouch! We gotta get moving, Crouch. Get a squad of troopers and find that missing work party.
Supervisor... Nemboss here doesn't seem too happy. I think...
Hell, that pixie never appreciates a favor. Get going and find that air holder party, Crouch. I'll deal with Mr. Nemboss.
Yes, sir.
Now listen here, little guy. You worky, or you no breathe no more, savvy?
We help you.
Help us?
I assure you there's no need to... Ow! My back!
They're not listening. Ow! Look, we're friendly.
Please don't eat us. We've come to see Mr. Posedor.
They seem to know the name.
Yeah, maybe he tasted good. Oh, I think we're at journey's end. Thank you. You needn't have carried us, you know.
I must have my feet back on the ground. What are they doing?
That glow. Look, it's coming from the ground over there.
Well, at least they've settled down now.
Yes. It's fungus of some sort. Glowing golden fungus. Let's see.
Touch not, Nematoda.
Sorry.
Where are we now, Trooper?
Intersection 50K.
They could be anywhere by now. Are you sure this is the right map?
Sir, over here.
What is it?
Container, sir.
Turn the spotlight this way, would you? Police public calls box. I don't get it.
There are some footprints here, sir.
They're humanoid footprints.
Maybe they're the air hole saboteurs, sir.
The what?
Well, sir, me and the lads have come to think.
That'll make a change. Oh, come on, let's follow the footprints.
Squad! Roll in! Come on, get a move on. Better ready, sir.
How nice for them. Come on.
Squad, at the double. Move it!
This is the worst tea shipment we've had this cycle.
Administrator, the scope's picked up some nematoid movement.
Where?
Outer zone 40J.
Oh, it's all unfiltered out there. It'll probably bury itself in a cave-in. Not to worry, just keep an eye on it, Ina.
Where are we now, Trooper?
Outer zone J, sir. The tracker indicates the footsteps are leading back towards the concourse now, sir. Squad! Halt!
Nematoid movement?
Only thing it could be, sir.
And we're still in the unfiltered zones.
I suggest we keep going, sir.
I suggest you're right. Come on.
That must be a nematoid.
And it's up there, somewhere.
Coming down.
Here.
Oh,
They don't look very frightened, do they?
dear.
Excited.
Yes.
Back here.
Seems to be worried for our safety.
Wait here.
Better do as they say.
Well, at least they're not going to sacrifice us. There it is!
Tracker indicates nematoid penetration just round the next bend, sir.
Listen, it's the work party. Come on.
Squad! Freeze! Arms! Activate disintegrator charges! There it is! Open fire!
Humans?
Yes, exhibiting their usual love for the animal kingdom.
Trooper, round up this work party. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on now, you pixies. Come on, into line.
What part?
Yes.
You two. Who are you?
Are you talking to us?
That container thing. Police something or other. Is it yours?
I'm the doctor, this is Rhea. Yes, it's my ship. Are you Mr. Posedor?
No.
I thought not. Could you take us to him, please?
He'll be very busy. Why do you want to see him?
We received his message.
What message?
What message? Who are these people, Crouch?
No idea, sir.
What do you mean?
I just
distinctly
found them
remember-
with the missing air holder party.
Oh, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about them.
Well, some of the troopers think they might be air hole saboteurs.
Do they? Oh, very interesting.
We're not air hole saboteurs. We're here because of the message.
Posedor. The satellite's due for alignment any time now. And I will... Who are these people?
I don't know. Crouch found them.
Crouch?
I don't know. Some of the troopers think they're air hole...
we've heard all that. Thank you very much for everyone's benefit. I'm the doctor.
I'm Rhea, and we're here because a message was broadcast from this
What
colony.
message?
I don't know.
Satellites aligned, Administrator. Shall I send you a message? Oh.
Right. Lock these two up, Crouch. I'll deal with them later. Right now, I want priority use of the transmitter.
Oh, I'm afraid the administrator has priority.
Don't give me that. You'll string out some dumb message so long the satellite will have passed alignment before I can get near the transmitter.
What's in your message, Mr. Posedor?
No,
Classified information, isn't it, administrator?
what? Oh, definitely.
Nothing to do with tea, I suppose.
What?
No,
See? You're not using up satellite time on tea.
most certainly not.
No, of course not.
What a pity. And here I am with a rucksack full of the finest earth-cultivated tea.
Really? Oh, well...
Crouch, I thought I told you to get these two out of here.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Come on, you two. Yes, sir?
Now, wait a minute, would you? Let us consider the...
See?
Foreman Crouch, please attend to your duties. We're 6 months behind schedule.
Yes, sir.
Posedor, I demand the use of the transmitter.
I'm sorry, Supervisor. I'm afraid the satellite has passed alignment.
What?
I shall broadcast your recommendation next time, Supervisor. Now, would you please leave? I have to determine the threat that these strangers pose to the colony.
Lock them up. That'll make them talk.
Nobody's given us a chance to say anything yet.
Quite so, young lady. Thank you, Mr. Stone.
Shall I send you a message now, sir?
I thought you just said... Oh, well done, Ina. Yes, you'd better send my message.
Yes, you'd better, or we won't have received it.
What?
Oh, I see.
Message transmitted.
Thank you, Ina. Now,
Doctor.
Oh, yes. Now, what on earth are you talking about?
Right, airholder party. Up you go. Hoist away. Guess that damn work didn't bust the chairlift.
No, sir. Steady as she goes.
How are the repairs?
They're going well, sir. It appears your puncture rods did us a big favor.
What do you mean?
Come with me. Now, look at the dead nematoid's underbelly. Here. This is where the puncture rods went in.
That's some wound. Beats me how it survived.
Yes, but it looks to me like they didn't do any real harm at all. Stick your head inside.
No, thank you.
There's nothing in there, sir. It's empty. Until you get to an inner skin. But the puncture rods didn't get that far, you see?
So what the hell are you getting at, Crouch?
When the rods punctured this outer skin, it released some kind of sticky fluid. You can see the stuff all along its trail, right up to the top of the air hole.
Well, get the damn pixies to clear it up.
No, sir, you're missing the point. At the top, this stuff's already set.
Set?
Yes, like cement. The whole of the air hole is in better shape than all of the others. There's only the shield across the rim that has to be repaired.
Oh, hell! Well, I was going to recommend these monsters exterminated. What is it, Trooper? Thought we had all that cleared up months ago.
We found a whole new patch of it when we came across those strangers.
All right, Trooper. Get your friend a sickbay. You know how lethal that stuff is.
Oh, I can hardly wait. There you are, Doctor. Miss Rhea. Sugar, anyone?
No, thanks.
I'm trying to give it up, but... Oh, well, 3 then.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Cheers. Oh, wonderful. Superb. Oh, thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. You should have some, Ina.
I still don't understand all this business about them receiving the message I sent while they were in this office.
Oh, my dear, the doctor's explained it once already. He was in his TARDIS. TARDIS. And he received my message, travelled back in time, and arrived here before you transmitted it.
But why?
Well, because... Dr. Utah.
It was the temporal tracking stabilizer.
It was an accident. The TARDIS is unreliable.
All right. But I thought time travel was impossible.
You know, she has got a point there, Doctor.
Oh, but we're here, and you've got the tea.
Yes, and that's a very good point, Miss Rhea.
Posedor!
Oh, Mr. Stone, please don't upset our little gathering. I promise you use of the transmitter next time.
Never mind that. Crouch, tell him.
Oh, yes, well, it seems we've stumbled on a way to solve the air hole problem.
Really? Good Lord, you're not serious, are you?
Damn right we are.
You see, sir, the nematoid is a worm within a worm, as it were.
Really?
Yes. The vital organs are contained in a very thin inner skin. Now, surrounding that, taking up about 75% of the worm we see, between the inner and the outer skin, is a viscous mass.
Of what?
Cement. Cement?
Yes, the stuff's all down the lining of Vert 24B. That's the air hole above the central concourse. It's stronger than anything we've developed.
So you see, Posedor, it's lucky you did stop me transmitting to Earth. We don't need an extermination program anymore. Sure, we need to slaughter a few every now and then to get this cement stuff out of them. But what we need to do most is set up a nematoid farm.
So you can treat them like cattle.
Nobody asked your opinion.
Perhaps you ought to ask the nematoids their opinion.
I don't talk to worms.
Please, Mr. Stone, the Doctor and Miss Rhea are my personal guests. Now, it does indeed seem that you and Mr. Crouch might have discovered something that will solve all our problems, but I want a full report, complete with concrete scientific evidence.
Just come and see Vert 24B.
Excuse me. Stone here. Go ahead.
That trooper with the fungus infection is sinking fast, sir.
Stuff. Have his detailed assemble. I'll send his transgraph to the next of kin. Out.
You give up very easily, Mr. Stone. Is this fungus so lethal?
It wiped out half of the first expedition to Nematoda. It doesn't affect the nematodans, but for humans, I'm afraid it's deadly.
I thought I'd seen the last of that stuff. I'd better see that this new patch is cleared up.
I see you do, Mr. Stone.
You'll have my report about nematoid farming on your desk tomorrow, Administrator. Come on, Crouch.
Mr. Posedor, I've encountered a number of alien infections in my time. Might I take a look at this poor trooper? What do you make of it, Rhea?
Stone was right about it being lethal. There's only one small point of contact with the fungus. Above the rim of his boot, here. But the inflammation has spread virtually all over his body.
It's very unpleasant. The orderly told me he's pumped full of painkillers, but look at the poor fellow. Doesn't seem to be easing the pain at all.
It's lucky that nematode stopped you from touching the fungus.
Yes.
What is it, Doctor? You haven't been happy since we arrived at the colony.
I'm not quite sure what's bothering me exactly. Something to do with Posedor's message and his obsession with tea.
Look who's talking.
I know. But it seems to be all he's lived for. Why?
Disillusioned with his job.
Certainly, but why? An expanding Earth empire comes across Nematoda. They see the inhabitants in trouble, so they decide to help. All they have to do is rebuild the air holes and keep the nematoids out. But it's taken them over 50 years. Doesn't make sense.
But they've solved the problem now.
Yes, this business about the nematoids carrying a fluid within them that cements air hole surfaces perfectly. It's too much of a coincidence.
Coincidences happen.
And then that ceremony or whatever it was with the fungus, the nematodans and the nematoid. Well, what was going on there?
I know what you mean. The nematodans wanted to show us that fungus, didn't they?
Yes. They carried us all that way to it. Why?
That question again?
No, I'm just not convinced that slaughtering the nematoids is the best solution. I've got to look into this.
What was that?
Air collapse came in at Central Concourse.
It's right above us. Quickly, let's get out of here. Help me carry this trooper.
Doctor! Miss Rhea, are you all right?
Yes, we've got to get this poor fellow
No
out.
time for that. Please, there are 3 nematoids loose from the concourse. They're heading this way. He's done for anyway.
Look out!
The wall! He's coming through the wall!
The Secret of Nematoda continues on the other side of the tape.
Audio visuals on tape. Update.
And the cheery news this month is that most of the master tapes for seasons 1 and 2 have been stolen. They are being remixed, however, and in some cases slightly improved. The lineup for the rest of season 3 is as follows: Enclave Irrelative, which replaces Hallucinomatrix, More Than a Messiah, Sword of Orion, Carney, and Planet of Lies. And I think it's worth mentioning that the Cybermen feature in one of those stories.
Remain here and initiate the hibernation process. I will supervise cyber conversion and the termination of the human agent and the Doctor.
Needless to say, the Daleks will be back too, along with a host of other galactic grotesqueries. A lot of you have been asking about Gentathil, the video project. Well, I'm afraid all 25 hours worth of material is still waiting to be edited down to 1 hour. A mammoth task, but it'll happen one day.
I'll believe it when I see it.
out is in production now and will be released with Season 3.
Okay, take 2, 3, 2, 1. How are they doing?
Well, we gave them some of that worm stuff, but they still don't seem too well.
Let's have a look at it.
In that bucket, and no, oh. Yeah, no fucking...
2, 1. This is the element that promotes the regeneration of nematodan body cells.
And we've been stopping the nematoids getting in.
Destroying the fungus.
And generally upsetting the ecological balance on this planet.
Oh, no.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
We've been right.
Shouldn't it be
Pricks.
digestive system?
There's one thing that I mainly remember about the rehearsals for Secret of Nematoda. One, that it was a lot of fun, and, well, two things that I remember. It was a lot of fun, it was difficult to direct and act, and three things I remember about the rehearsals of the Secret of Nematoda. Can't remember the first two, but the third one was that they all did the sound effects while we were acting it out.
Where are we going, sir?
I'm going to undo your handiwork.
God, that's all you're doing. You'll never get to the generators. There are nematoids everywhere.
You think you're pretty clever, Doctor, don't you? I bet you've never done an honest day's work in your life. You come here, stir up the nematodans, try to change everything. You may have duped Posedor, but I've sweated blood over this damn planet.
And the result of your labors will be genocide. Stone, if you just little...
I wanted to do that for a long time, Doctor. I never give up without a fight. Forget that. I'll pick up that with your program.
And with that, he waved. What's that, sir? All right, darling?
Now, I suppose an important thing in radio or audio drama is to get a good sense of the geography of where the scene's supposed to be taking place, and this is something that gets worked out in rehearsals.
Where are they pointing the spotlight then, if it's not at the TARDIS?
Well, as John's pointed out, by changing that to the other trooper. Look, he's over there. Hold on a second. He's over there. They're going all over the place. And so, there's one bloke over there who's down in the corner. He's gone to...
Oh, I see.
You know, but not stupid, but you know what I mean? He's encountered because he's right next to it. Something over here. Yeah. That's all sharing principle.
And as I remember, Lorraine had a very interesting idea of what Ina should be, or what she thought she might be.
Awful vision of Aurora sitting there in the middle of Star Trek going, Captain Kirk, Captain Kirk, the earpiece and being like really there together. Is it Aurora? Ahura, wasn't it? Ahura.
Oh, yeah.
Ahura.
Yeah.
I don't know what flipping name is, but it's just, you know, sort of like really on the ball. It just isn't.
No.
This is the trouble. I've got this thing stuck in my ear and I'm really there.
I
That got out of my system. I've been thinking about that for days.
I don't think she is.
No, she's not, obviously.
She might have it in her ear, but she's possibly got it in the wrong way. Capital radio. Well, she's thought, oh, mate, nice hearing. She's angry. Again, the Rhea's line there. Again, the doctor is being rude to these people and is asking to have a gun shoved in his face. Again, you're patching it up. You know, I'm not saying you think these people are wonderful, but you're just thinking, why on earth does he walk into these situations that, yes, you're all being extremely obtuse. He said, no, what you do, you know. You know what I mean? You're doing it for that reason, basically. That's right, you're just explaining things nicely. A little bit of politeness, which the doctor seems to forget sometimes. It's just that he's heard people say, oh, I don't know, I just bloody told you who I was, you know. Nick, okay, right. Just correcting myself.
And then, after the rehearsal, of course, comes the recording, and you're very lucky if the recording is as much fun as the rehearsal. And we weren't very lucky. I mean, it was fun, but you've no longer got everyone leaping up and down, making all the funny noises, and there's so much technical stuff to take into account, and everything. There's a tendency for things to go very flat.
Nematoda
really.
began. Fascinating. It must have been passed down through the centuries from Nembos to successive Nembos.
Me?
Yes, you are Nembos now. Was your father Nembos before?
No.
You mean...
No father, since Nem was.
And then months later, you're confronted with this this load of tapes, and you've got to edit it, and you've got people doing funny voices, and you've got to affect their voices, you've got to add the sound effects, and then it goes on for someone to put music on it.
Broadcast that message.
Yes, of
Promise
course.
me.
All right, I promise.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Ina, but you know how
Don't worry, I'll do it. I'll send the message.
Air collapse! Air collapse!
More nematoid trouble. How do they get through?
And as people point out, and as we know, that one of the problems is when you bring in the sound effects, you've got to convey the drama, but at the same time not have them too loud, and the same goes for the music as well.
Please, you've got to snap out.
I'm beginning to think I snapped long ago.
Our security cams detect nematoid penetration.
Oh, all right. Track rate of progress.
3 meters per second.
You better try out those puncture rod
You're
things.
dealing with an awful lot of separate elements that you have to make fit together. More often than not, you know, each single element will sound great on its own. It's just the problem of making it all work. There was actually some music, or quite a bit of music done for Secret of Nematoda, that actually wasn't eventually used, for one reason or another.
What do you mean, wait?
Was right. Look, the metal wall has cut through the outer skin.
That's that cement stuff.
It's gone all over that poor trooper.
He'll be set fast. We've got to get him out.
We can't. That thing's still alive.
Can't control the nematodins, sir. They've gone berserk. Come, pixies. Trooper, stop that worm. It's wrecking the sick bay.
Disintegrated target, sir.
Don't hit the building. Fire!
Not killing them.
Ah, shut up. I want those other worms targeted and shot.
Stone!
You killed this Nematoda.
It is dead, isn't it?
Yes. Interesting how the tear in the outer skin didn't immobilize it at all.
Doctor, look out!
It must still be alive.
No, look.
Oh, what's going on?
The trooper!
Are you all right?
Who are you? Oh, what's all this stuff?
I trust you have found your accommodation satisfactory over the last few days, Doctor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Posedor. Although I must confess, Rio and I have spent most of our time in your excellent laboratories.
I'm glad someone's finally found a use for them.
Yes. Oh, Mr. Stone is looking a little impatient. Perhaps we should begin.
This had better not take long, Administrator.
Emergency meeting of the Nematoda Colony Executive is now convened.
Thank you. Now, as this is an emergency meeting, I don't propose that we detain ourselves with the minutes of the last meeting, whenever that was.
I wish to make a point of order, Administrator.
Do you? Oh. Is that in order, Ina?
Well, I think so.
Go ahead, Mr. Stone.
I wasn't aware that these two strangers were members of the Colonial Executive.
We're not.
Quite so, Miss Rhea. I have, however, found the Doctor and Miss Rhea of invaluable scientific help over the past few days. They have carried out extensive tests on samples of both the nematoid substance and the lethal fungus.
Okay, so we know that the stuff was a cure for the fungal infection. That trooper is living proof. You don't have to make any tests to know that.
We have made other discoveries.
Hell, Posedor, you don't even know who these people are and where they come from. They could be airhole saboteurs.
How can we be airhole saboteurs when we haven't been in one?
They are my guests, Supervisor Stone. They are here at my invitation.
Well, it's out of order, Posedor. I want my disapproval recorded in the minutes.
Have you done that, Ina?
I want my disapproval recorded in the minutes. Yes, Mr. Posedor.
Thank you, Ina. You may also be interested to know, Mr. Stone, that I have enlisted the Doctor and Miss Rhea as my personal advisors.
You what?
I thank you very much for your report, Mr. Stone. Your plans for the implementation of a nematoid farming program are ingenious, if a little extravagant, but eminently practicable, I should imagine, if you are able to acquire the necessary equipment and manpower from Earth's center.
All I need is go-ahead permission from Earth. Manpower can be provided by the Nematodans and the equipment by the trading communities in our neighboring systems.
It seems to me that the Nematodans are already overworked as it is. Since the whole purpose of the operation on this planet is to benefit the Nematodans, working them to death can hardly be justified.
They're the laziest bunch of pixies I've ever had the misfortune to supervise.
Probably the most unhealthy, too.
Hogwash!
This seems an opportune moment to view the holovid record of the Doctor and Miss Rhea's work. Ina?
Activating holovid now, sir.
Holovid 1. Nematodan Cultural Studies. Noting there is no existing procedure for the Nematodans to make their views known, we have conducted a number of interviews with the Nematodans.
Hold up there. Hold it. Just stop that thing.
Yes, Mr. Stone, you have a query?
What kind of trash is this? Nematodans don't have a sophisticated enough language to participate in interviews. You might as well talk to a nematoid.
I grant you that it is true that the Nematodans do not have a sophisticated verbal language of their own. It appears that they communicate through mutual understanding.
What?
Have you ever seen a nematodan have a quarrel or a fight with another nematodan?
Huh?
They're a very contented species. What is more, they have a highly selective intelligence.
They're dumb.
Mr. Stone, as I'm sure you yourself have witnessed, the nematodons do have vocal capacity.
Oh, yeah. Nem this and nem that. Big deal.
It is my judgment that they have the capability to absorb and use as much language as they like. It's just that they're not particularly interested in human speech. They use as few words as is necessary.
Necessary for what?
To keep you happy.
Mutual understanding. They just want everyone to be happy. That's why they work for you.
It's for their own good.
But what happens when you don't supervise them?
What do you mean?
They wander off, don't they?
In their droves.
Just like the ones we encountered when we first arrived on Nematoda.
Well, I've been saying they needed organization all along.
Mr. Stone, the nematodons are not a self-destructive race. They don't want to be buried alive or suffocated.
They're just a bunch
May
of
we proceed with the hollow vid? Ina?
Interview 1. Sit down. There's nothing to worry about. We want to talk to you, and we're going to record what you say. All right?
He seems happy enough.
Right. What is your name?
I don't think he understood.
Now, hold on. I'm going to try something. Speak to me when I ask you a question. What's your name?
No name, no name.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm not really angry.
Play.
He understands you were play acting.
Stone.
I think I reminded him of someone.
Hell's teeth, I don't have to listen to this kind of character assassination.
With due respect, I think you do.
Is that a threat?
Ina, what do humans call you?
Airholer, Nematoden.
Anything else?
Dumb pixie.
Do you mind that?
Just Stone.
All right. Thank you. Do you mind if we examine you?
Fine.
We examined each of the interviewees. On this first one, we were surprised at what we found. He seemed healthy, about 50 years old, with a potential lifespan of about 90 years or so, depending on his style of living.
Sounds normal to me.
Yes, doesn't it? Shall we continue, Ina?
If music be the fruit of life, I think yours is rotten. Very droll. It's my wit that stops me from going mad in this place.
I know what you mean. Those damn Nems look so happy all the time.
Oh, I rather like them. They're refreshingly uncomplicated.
Nah, give me one of those worms any day. At least I can shoot them.
Oh, yes. I was forgetting your military disposition. I'm afraid the bane of my life is our friend Stone. He's either bawling in my ear or slapping me so hard on the back I have to lie down and recover afterwards.
No, at least he gets his work done. Not like that Posedor sits in his office all the time, drinking tea, complaining about tea.
You can't complain now. That doctor brought him some earth-grown stuff. I've never seen him so happy.
Tea should be doing his job.
Surface sensor on the blink again.
I think we've got a bit of nematoid movement.
I'll keep an eye on it. Turn that noise off, will you? Oh, what now? Foreman Crouch, scanner center, go ahead.
Squad 9 here, sir.
Squad 9? Oh, yes. You're assigned fungus clearance duties.
That's right, sir. Trouble is, we can't find any fungus.
Are you sure you looked in the right place?
Zone 40J, sir. Nothing here.
Well, if it's gone, I suppose.
And now the final interview.
Please, Mr. Stone.
We spoke to the nematodon you call Nemboss.
We asked him why he was apparently the leader.
Those pixies just pushed him forward. It was their choice.
Why are you Nemboss?
Remember.
What do you remember?
All.
All of what?
Nem.
Here you go. Nem. It's all they have to say about anything.
Yes, they do say it a lot, Doctor.
They've latched onto it as a multi-purpose term.
The first Earth administrator came up with nematoid and subsequently nematoda and nematodon because it means worm-like.
Yeah, we all know that.
And the nematodons use nem as the main thing all those words have in common, phonetically speaking, to express everything of or to do with them. I find it a rather enjoyable little word.
So Nemboss was saying he remembers all of Nem.
Keep typing.
Everything to do with and of Nem.
Nem, nematoda, the nematoids, and the nematodons.
What the hell are you talking about? You sound like a bunch of pixies.
Oh, I see. So Nemboss is a sort of historian.
That's right. He can apparently remember every detail of nematoda's history.
Why don't they learn to write?
Why learn to write when you have an infallible lasting memory facility?
This is where the whole thing gets a little disturbing.
You're disturbed.
Here we go then.
You remember everything since you were born?
All Nem since Nem was.
Since nematoda began.
True.
Fascinating. It must have been passed down through the centuries from Nembos to successive Nembos.
We?
Yes, you are Nembos now. Was your father Nembos before?
No.
You mean...
No father since Nem was.
Since Nematoda began? I don't understand.
Can't be. Nembos, how old are you?
Since Nem was.
But Doctor, he's saying he's as old as Nematoda itself.
How's the activity on the surface?
Increasing?
Let me see. Doesn't look very encouraging.
Oh, I don't know. They could be massing for a full-scale attack.
That'd give you plenty of target practice, wouldn't it? Crouch, go ahead.
Foreman, sir, half the airholder parties have gone AWOL.
What?
One of the guards says he thinks he saw them disappearing up the central concourse airhole.
Well, try and find them. Out. What is it?
Airhole security cams detect nematoid penetration in berth 24B.
Oh, no, not again. What's that?
Penetration in berths 2, 5, 6, 7 and 11B. Looks like I was right.
I don't believe it. Nematodans can't live forever.
And they won't now.
Look at the results of the examinations. All of them are about 50 years old and they all claim to have lived here before Earth people arrived.
They're lying.
Why should they?
They're stupid.
Well, don't you see? Their cells have only been dying out since Earth people arrived.
You've upset some kind of balance. The normal state for the nematoda metabolism must be constant cellular regeneration. Something humanity has done has terminated that process. In 40 or so years, there won't be any more nematodans.
Well, if the nematoids go too, that suits me.
Mr. Stone, that goes against everything our policy of colonial assistance stands for.
I think Mr. Stone regards the nematodans as rather a hindrance to the glory of his ego.
Why, you...
What again?
Details.
It's a big one, sir. 10 shells busted so far.
Mobilize all units. We'll intercept them at the central junction, vert vector 282961. Excuse me. I have work to do.
Doctor, what is this balance we upset?
I don't know. But I'm certain it links the nematodans, the nematoids, the fungus, and the airholes all together.
Quite a jigsaw puzzle.
That's precisely what it is, Ina. Will you allow us the time to piece it together, Administrator?
Of course, Doctor. At last it seems as though life on Nematoda has some kind of sense to it. And if that sense means we have to leave this planet, I shall be all the more pleased.
Mr. Stone didn't seem convinced.
I must apologize for him. He's not known for his subtlety. But I must say that today's display was a little extreme even for him.
Well, he's probably feeling guilty.
Guilty?
Yes. Worried about what Nembos was going to say next.
And what was he going to say?
Stone killed a nematodan.
Doctor, if that's true, then the regulations are clear. Stone must be removed from office and sent back to Earth for trial.
All right. This is the intersection. Get your men out of the chairlift, Trooper.
Yes, sir. Squad, dismount.
Stone to concourse. We're splitting up into disintegrator units and going further up on foot. Start sending the rest of the men up. You'll form the backup squad at our rear. Okay, men. At the double. The going's not so steep from here.
That was the executive meeting, sir.
Would have been a hell of a lot shorter without those saboteurs.
You mean Mr. Posedor let them attend the meeting?
Boy, he let them do his thinking. Oh, that Posedor. Sometimes I wonder whether the time hasn't come.
Some of the men are with you on that, sir.
Watch your step, Trooper. That's mutiny talk. How about the rest of the men?
They could be convinced.
Well, I might just take it upon myself to do that.
Oh, Mr. Crouch, you've met Miss Rhea and the doctor, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Don't you trust us?
What's Mr. Stone up to?
Leading his valiant troops.
Is there any way we can observe the operation?
Yes, the subscope. The curvy pattern is the airhole system.
And the little blobs are stone and friends. Those are the worms at the top, I presume?
Yes. Their progress is usually quite slow. It was only the puncture rods releasing that substance which speeded up the descent of the other one.
I see.
What's all this? I don't know. Some kind of scope interference? Hold on. No, I can't get rid of it.
Whatever it is, Stone and his troopers are walking straight into it.
wasn't any fungus there before.
They've walked straight into it. The casualties will be appalling.
Men! Retreat! Get back to the junction! Carry the wounded! Nematoids!
The nematoids are right behind them.
Activate security cam.
It's no good, sir. They've been knocked out by the nematoids.
Retreat! Supervisor! We can't get to the unit! The nematoids are right on top of us! Call up the reinforcements in the junction! We'll take the damn worms on here! Oh my God, those monsters are crushing them!
There's nothing we can do.
The nematoids stopped moving.
Held down by gunfire.
No, sir. Stone hasn't given the order.
What's stopping them?
The fungus. They've stopped at the fungus.
Why? You think it's poisoned them?
No. It's all they've come for. Administrator, tell Stone not to open fire. The nematoids won't harm them.
Crouch, open the line. Stone, you hear me? Withdraw immediately.
What? Are you crazy? We've got to stop those monsters.
He's closed the line, sir.
Open fire!
It looks as though Stone will have his victory.
This carnage is totally unnecessary. You didn't take any notice of me. Crouch, have Stone report to my office as soon as he returns.
Yes, sir.
Well on, man. You fought a brave battle. Earth Center will be proud of you. Well done.
Yes, sir.
I want a meeting with as many men as you can count on in the barrack room.
Yes, sir. All wounded to sick bay.
So how did the fungus get there? Does it just sprout up anywhere it feels like it?
Well, it seems to, my dear.
I think I know the answer.
Go ahead, Mr. Crouch.
Just before all this nematoid movement today, two things happened.
Yes?
About half the air holder parties went missing.
That's not unusual.
And the squad detailed to destroy that fungus patch.
The one we saw when we landed?
They reported that the fungus was gone when they got there.
So you think that the nematodons moved it and put it in the air holes?
Well, adds up.
Yes, it does.
Now, we all know that the stuff the nematoids carry around in their bellies can solve all our problems. It lines the air holes and it cures the effects of that damn fungus. But Posedor doesn't care. He's too interested in tea. But while he sits and sips his tea with that doctor and Riak, you men die at the hands of those monsters, the nematoids. And my plan for a nematoid farming program sits unread on his desk.
So what's happened to the fungus now?
It's gone again.
Have any of you thought why the nematoid substance cures the effects of the fungus? It isn't just luck, you know.
Like all good antidotes, the nematoid substance contains something of the original poison in it.
But how does that explain where the fungus has gone?
We did a little experiment, didn't we, Doctor?
And where on earth has Stone gone?
Please, Mr. Posedor, this is vital.
Administrator Posedor.
Ah, Stone, at last. You're late. I have quite a lot to say to you.
I'm not interested in what you have to say. I'm relieving you of your command.
What?
Your administration of this colony has been a farce. You are incompetent.
And you, Mr. Stone, are a murderer.
Hogwash.
Today you unnecessarily opened fire on the nematoids.
Unnecessary. They were crushing my men.
Your men got in their way.
I don't have to listen to this. Troopers, sir, remove these people. Have them locked in the barrack room. Yes, sir. Right, come on, move.
You're being led by a murderer. 2 days ago, he killed a nematodon.
I'd advise you to keep quiet, sir. Now, let's get down to business.
This is preposterous.
I don't know what he thinks he's playing at.
Power. He's always wanted to sit in that chair.
You know what'll happen now?
And he'll start his farming program.
And in 40 or so years, there'll be no more nematodons and no more nematoids.
And Stone will be happy.
Well, we can't just stay here and vegetate.
Back against the wall, all of you.
Trooper, would you kindly take me
Shut
to
up!
see Mr.
You come here.
What for?
We need someone to help out in the sick bay.
You mean nobody knows what to do?
Shut up and move.
She'll need my
No,
help.
she won't.
Right, this calls for desperate measures.
Keep back, everyone.
What is it?
And nobody touch these fungus.
Where did you get it from?
The nematodons. They grow it under their feet. What? Well, they have cup-shaped feet, haven't they?
Oh, yes, but that's for suction when they're climbing up the air holes. Well, that's what I've always been told, anyway.
Yes. You're right. But, and if you're prepared to listen to my explanation now, Rhea and I discovered some interesting biochemistries at work on this planet. Now, let's just plant this. Lucky there's no floor covering.
You don't expect it to grow.
I do, and it will. You see, the reason you can never get rid of this stuff is because as long as nematoids come down the air holes and as long as nematodons work in the same air holes, the fungus will always gather under their feet. The nematoid substance and the fungus are chemically from the same base. The one is produced from the other, then the other produces the one, if you see what I mean. All right, then, here we go. The nematoids come down here to feed off the fungus. They can sense it. When the nematoids eat the fungus, their digestion system breaks it down and forms it into a substance that sustains the nematoid's internal functions. But the nematoid outer skin is porous, so when the nematoid contains enough substance, usually after a healthy feed, the substance comes out through the pores and onto the air hole lining.
Where it seals the lining.
Then, when the nematodons work on the substance-covered lining, it promotes the growth of small amounts of fungus under their feet. When they scrape it out and plant it, or it just falls out when it's too heavy, the fungus grows.
Which attracts the nematoids down the air holes again.
Yes, but why are the nematodons dying out?
Because there's another feature of this biological chain. I imagine you've seen what the nematodons do when a nematoid is killed.
Yes, it's weird. They climb all over it, chanting.
Well, I don't know about the chanting, but the physical contact with the dead nematoid is a sort of ritual, rather sad replaying of what happens to the live nematoids when they're feeding. Through physical contact, the nematodons provoke and stimulate the nematoid pores to excrete substance directly into the nematodon metabolism. This is the element that promotes the regeneration of nematodon body cells.
And we've been stopping the nematoids getting in.
Destroying the fungus.
And generally upsetting the ecological balance on this planet.
And generally upsetting the ecological balance on this planet.
Very interesting, young lady. Now get back to your duties in the sick bay. You're lucky I don't have you slung back in the brig with your buddies.
You haven't listened to a word I've said, have you?
On the contrary, Miss Rhea, I'm making a full report on the deranged nonsense you're feeding Posedor. You've been most helpful.
Deranged? It makes more sense than slaughtering the nematoids.
The nematoids are an alien menace. I've tried every method of strengthening the air hole shielding, but they just break through it. Those creatures defy all laws of engineering. There's only one way...
For goodness sake! The nematoids aren't super strong monsters. Don't you understand? You've upset a symbiosis which has been in operation on this planet since life began here. The inhabitants are instinctively compelled to perpetuate it.
What are you trying to say?
The nematodons are letting the nematoids in.
That's it!
What do you mean?
I knew it! I knew it! Those pixies need teaching a lesson.
What? No, you don't understand.
Thank you, Miss Rhea. You have been most helpful.
Yes, it's coming on very nicely.
But what good is it going to do, Doctor?
It should attract a nematoid or two.
Can you be sure?
Well, they'll be getting pretty desperate up there by now. Only a few have had a recent fungus intake. The others will be starving. That's why so-called attacking nematoids have only excreted the substance when their skin has been punctured. And as far as the nematodons are concerned, the nematoids are like mothers with no milk left.
How are they doing?
Well, we gave him some of that worm stuff, but I still don't seem too well.
Let's have a look at it.
In that bucket. And no monkey business, mind.
At a guess, I'd say its strength had been weakened by lack of fungus intake.
You mean the worms eat that stuff? Oh, come off, eh?
Yes. You were in that attack, weren't you? Didn't you wonder why the nematoids stopped at that fungus?
Well, we had them pinned down, didn't we? Give them a good hiding.
I see. Have all these men still got fungus still on them?
Don't think so. Couldn't have cleaned this one properly.
Give me a hand to scrape this off. Careful.
Sorry.
Right. You hold his leg.
Yeah.
There we are. Look at that. Nasty stuff, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I'll just scoop it up and... Whoops! Help yourself to the antidote. Thanks for the gun. Bye!
Yes, sir. Now hear this. We Earth people have done our best for you, Nematodans. When our predecessors arrived, they found you cringing under the might of the Nematoid onslaught. Now, our predecessors did their best for you, and we're doing our best for you. That's why I get angry when it's suggested to me by one of the strangers that it's you people who've been laying the Nematoids in. I have to tell you that I don't hold much with the opinions of the doctor and his friend, but all the same, I've had my engineers check out the air-hole shields. Now, on the basis of their findings, you people have been loosening the shield couplings behind our backs. I don't know why you've been doing this, and I guess it's no use me standing up here lecturing you about uncoupled air-hole shielding's poor resistance to strain. The best thing I can think of doing is refer the whole problem to the Center Policy Department with a recommendation for strong action. In the meantime, if you look around, you'll see a number of large machines. These are force field generators. Switch on! None of you can leave the area we've mapped out on the ground for you there. It's for your own protection. Well, they took it standing up, I'll say that for them.
I don't think they understood, sir.
They'll understand if they try to get out.
Of course I know where the seismic probe controls are.
Right, well, reroute all the power from the solo functions to the seismic charges on the double.
Seismic probe. I thought we'd given up on that one ages ago.
Stop! What are you doing here?
I'm here to see the prisoners.
But you're one of the...
I'm helping you lot now, aren't I?
Are you?
Yes. I've been working in the sick bay.
What's that gun for, then?
It's a mark of Mr. Stone's trust in me. Now open the door.
Oh, I suppose it's all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that's what the gun's for.
Rhea!
Well, give me a hand with this body, then.
My dear, what's happening out there?
Oh, I'm afraid I've dropped the Nematodans in a lot of trouble.
How long before satellite alignment?
Another hour, sir.
Oh, damn! Now, you're sure my message and recommendations are ready?
Of course, sir.
What about the nematoid farming preparations?
Some more force field generators are being rigged up now, sir. They'll be good for a couple of operations, but we'll need replacement components.
That's okay. I intend entering into trade agreements with the neighboring system.
What are we going to trade with?
Nematodan labor. All we need do is prove to Earth Center that the farming program makes sense, and they'll give us the go-ahead for anything. This colony has been a thorn in their ride for so long they'll hardly believe their luck that I've got this whole operation working. And there'll be honor and money in it for all of us. Except Posedor.
Power from servo functions rerouted. Probe power runs complete.
Will she work?
She'll work all right, but I don't know about the look.
Sit tight and wait for your orders.
See over there? They've got all the Nematodans trapped.
What can we do?
Well, the communication satellites are lined in less than an hour. We could call for help.
But that'd take ages before anyone got here.
It isn't a bad idea, though. Doesn't hurt to think of the long term, you know?
What about the short term? We need to seize power.
We'd need an army.
Stone's got the army.
And who's he fighting his war against?
The Nematoids.
Our army.
But if we used the Nematoids, Stone would just kill them.
How do we get them down here at our command, anyway?
More to the point, how does Stone intend to get them down here?
You mean to start his farming program?
Yes. He can't run his scheme on the off chance that a worm comes tumbling down an air hole.
The seismic probe! Shh! It was one of Stone's early ideas for frightening off nematoids. force. It creates vibrations on the surface around the air hole shields. Only the trouble was, it attracted them instead.
That still leaves us with two problems. How are we going to stop Stone's men mowing down any nematoids who get down here? And with the nematonians safely behind a force field, who's going to loosen the shield couplings?
Force fields. I've got an idea. Mr. Crouch, how do we control this seismic probe?
From the scanner center.
Shall we proceed, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, we got these babies working?
Just about, sir. Where do you want them aimed?
Across the entrance of the main air holes, and about a nematoid's length in front. I'll be giving the first command when we got enough nematoids down here. Now, on that command, a force beam across the air hole entrances switched on. We'll have them trapped. On the second command, I want the other beam on. That'll enclose the nematoids so we can slaughter them when we need them.
Who are you? Me? Oh, I'm here to undermine everything.
Hey, you're that...
You're getting disturbingly good at that, Rhea. Come in, everyone. Seismic probe controls, Mr. Crouch.
Here, Doctor.
But what is it?
They've been modified.
Of course. Let me guess. Increased power capacity?
Yes. All the servo functions have been rerouted.
Ah, what is it, Doctor? I've just remembered.
What? Yes, what? I don't like it when you start acting strangely. It unnerves me.
That should rattle a few air hole shields.
Doctor, you've set the seismic probe at maximum.
We've got an advantage over Stone. What? I think fast and I'm clever. Posedor, you and Ina must get to the office. As soon as the satellite's aligned, transmit your distress call. Rhea, you must protect them. Crouch, you stay here. Ha! I've stirred up the hornet's nest. Right, Crouch, help me get this fellow's uniform on.
What the hell's going on?
Seismic probe has been activated. All main air hole shieldings have been blown. Nematoids pouring in down all verts.
What? This is too soon!
No stopping it.
Assemble all disintegrator spots. Get those force fields set up.
They don't seem to have noticed us.
There's too much panic. At least that part of the doctor's plan has worked. I wish I knew the rest of it.
So do I. Listen, you two must make your own way. I've got to find the doctor. I don't think he's as clever as he thinks.
Force. More force field generators. They intend to trap the nematoids. Right.
Hey, you! What are you doing?
I'm maintenance, doing a bit of maintaining.
What?
Setting up the force beam mush. Yeah.
Have you been set up?
Yeah.
Who are you?
As I say, haven't you got anything better to do?
You? Hey, it's one of those...
Rhea!
You clown, what on earth are you doing?
Quickly, help me with the generators. They've got to be re-aimed. They're on their way.
All disintegrator squads report battle readiness, sir.
Well done, Trooper. All we have to...
What is it?
Damn. The satellite's aligned. I have to transmit to Earth.
We're in luck. Nobody here.
Oh, look at the mess they've made of my desk.
Never mind that. Look, the satellite's aligned.
Done it.
That's it. All set up. When they've activated these force beams, we can free the nematodons and let nature take its course. Let's see how Posedor's getting on.
Ready, Mr. Posedor.
I have to transmit verbally.
Oh! Hold it. Turn the transmitter off. Well, escaping hasn't done you much good, has it?
The doctor's upset your plans a little, hasn't he?
I wouldn't say that. Only brought things forward. In a way, he's helped keep my men in shape. There's nothing like an emergency.
Put your gun down, Stone.
I don't know what you expect to achieve. My operation is set to succeed. You're the mutineers now.
I wouldn't say that. Listen.
All units report battle readiness. Stand by to fire. Fire! I don't believe it. The force field is around us and not the nematoids. We're trapped.
There, rather clever, don't you think?
Well done, Doctor.
Oh, it was...
Doctor! Nobody move or I'll kill the doctor.
There's no point.
Shut up! You're coming with me.
Bye-bye.
What on earth do we do now?
We've got Crouch.
The nematoids are going wild out there.
They're looking for fungus. We've got to release the nematodons. They're our only hope. Come on, everyone!
Where are we going, Stone? I'm gonna undo your handiwork. You'll never get to the generators. There are nematoids everywhere.
You think you're pretty clever, Doctor, don't you? I bet you've never done an honest day's work in your life. You come here, stir up the nematodons, try to change everything. You may have do Posedor, but I've sweated blood over this damn planet.
Yes, and the result of your labors will be genocide. Stone, if you just...
I wanted to do that for a long time, Doctor. I never give up without a fight.
He's unconscious.
Stone must be out there trying to free his men.
We've got to release the nematodons. They may be carrying enough fungus to calm the nematoids.
Right.
Give me your gun, Crouch. Posedor and I will look for Stone.
They're over here. Come on!
Ria!
I'll start shutting the generators down.
Yes, boss. We're going to release you. Have you got any fungus?
Let's feed. Doctor?
He's hurt. Stone.
Don't kill them.
That's it. You're free.
Stone! He's attacking the nematoids!
Stop or I'll shoot!
Did you get him?
I think he's wounded.
He's heading towards the barrack room.
So is that nematoid. Come on! There he is.
Stone, give up! Don't you come near me! He could make his way to the central generator and shut down the force fields from there.
Look out! Nematoid, right behind you!
There's no need to carry me. Hello, everyone. Please put me down. Come on, chaps. Could you calm that nematoid down, please?
Wants him feed.
Yes, I expect he does.
Doctor, Stone's shut himself in the barrack room.
Oh, no. Quick, open the door.
He's got a gun.
He'll be in no shape to use it. That fungus I planted, it seems to have come on rather well.
Please, get me out of here!
We'd better help it.
Doctor, look out!
It appears that Mr. Stone has impeded nematode symbiosis for the last time. He was lying in the larder.
Tea, everyone?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Posedor. I could do with 4 sugars this time. What happens now?
Oh, I shall implement procedures for nematode independence as soon as I can get in touch with Earth Center. Perhaps I'll get a better job next time. Well, I doubt it.
Colonial service is a mug's life.
A mug of tea, you mean?
What is it, Ina?
Transmission from an Earth battle cruiser just in orbit around Nematoda.
What?
Battle cruiser Repulse calling Nematoda colony have received your request and have come to assist.
But we didn't get to transmit the distress call.
Maybe Stone asked for reinforcements.
Oh, no, Earth must have approved his nematoid farming plan.
Can't you explain to them?
Once Earth Center has reached a decision, it can take light years to reverse it.
No.
Please respond. Nematoda, we've a cargo load full of tea for you here.
What? Ina, put me on. This is Administrator Posedor. Did you say tea?
That is what you asked for, isn't it? We were in this sector, so we thought we'd pop by. Nobody on this ship can stand tea.
How outrageous.
Doctor.
The TARDIS, safe and sound as usual.
That makes a change.
To be honest, I didn't really believe you when you said it was your ship. How are you going to take off from down here?
By using Time Lord ingenuity, Mr. Crouch.
And lots of luck.
I can imagine. Look, I'm sure the transport ship could take 2 more passengers.
We don't want to go in your transport ship, thank you very much, do we, Rhea?
Certainly not.
Why not?
Well, where's it going for a start?
For a start, it's going to the nearest outpost.
Sounds riveting.
Gosh, aren't you lucky, Mr. Crouch?
At least I'll have a comfortable cabin to myself. I doubt if you could swing a cat in your TARDIS or whatever it is.
Rhea and I are not in the habit of swinging cats, Mr. Crouch, but if we wished to, we'd have no trouble doing so at all. Close the door, Rhea.
Right.
There was a bloke at college who was into this.
Oh, hello. I thought you were still outside.
Shall I open the door?
I don't know. What was it that this bloke at college was into, Mr. Crouch?
Dimensional expansion theory.
Theory? Well, here's the application. What happened to him?
He published a paper on it, then got kicked out for degrading the college's reputation for sound thought. Pity. We were quite good friends.
Time vectors align, Doctor.
Good. Check spatial interface generators. What did you study, Mr. Crouch?
I majored in colonial management.
Ooh, how adventurous.
Good career prospects.
Good for you. Open the door, Rhea. Mr. Crouch has his career to think of. He might get to sit behind a big desk one day.
You know, when he got his orders to quit, do you know what he said to me?
Who?
I'll never forget it. At last I can drop out. The bickering had been going on for ages. He was almost relieved. He even asked me to join him. Said he'd got funding for a private laboratory on one of the outer planets.
But you had more important things to do.
I wanted to go. I did, but it just seemed a rash thing to do somehow.
The choice faces you again, Mr. Crouch. But now you know just how right or wrong you were the last time.
Where are you going?
We don't know.
Fun, isn't it?
How did you close that door, Rhea?
This lever, here.
Right.
And now, this one here.
What does it do?
Find out, Mr. Crouch. Be bold. We're off.
By the way, what's your first name?
Oh, yes. Mr. Crouch is a bit formal, isn't it?
Truman.
Truman.
Truman the foreman.
Well, never mind. I'm sure we'll get used to it. Will someone put the kettle on?
We have orders that you should be returned to Telos for brain analysis.
The Cybermen in Season 3. Don't miss them.
Burn out.
I imagine you found the lift rather odd as well. No complex personality print implanted by a matrix generator such as yourself, eh? Just buttons to press.
You are referring to burnout?
Oh, I get it. I'm a guinea pig for your psychological experiments.
Do you ever worry about burnout, Keegan? Devereaux.
So there I was. A matrix generator. And scared stiff of getting my brains blown all over the wall the first time I synced up. Well, that was all bull.
For you. So far.
No.
Grant. Where's Grant?
Grant? Aren't you the man who called yesterday?
I've got to see Grant. I know he's here on orders of Commissioner Devereaux. Then you are confident that Grant will interface with this cortex generator.